the green ratings, why did they emerge? I mean, when did they emerge and what happened? If you look at the timeline with respect to only India, we're looking at a timeline about 25 years. So roughly in and around 2000 is when the LEED rating got introduced in India first, and the first certified projects in India were there. Before that, there were a lot of rating systems abroad in the US and the UK, like LEED, BREEAM and all that. But even India was when the millennium started. And since then, we have come a long, long way. India is the country with the third most number of certified projects in the world. And if you take into account the IGBC and GRIHA projects as well, then I think definitely India would be the country with the maximum number of green certified projects. So like we already heard, there are a lot of rating systems and they all emerged in the first decade of the millennium, that is from 2001 to 2010. You can see that first IGBC came up. First IGBC and USGBC were collaborating. There was something called as LEAD India. And then GRIHA was introduced by Terry. It was endorsed as a national rating system where it had a slightly different approach towards how green rating systems are working. And then IGBC started expanding its portfolio of rating offerings. Right now, I think IGBC offers some 30 different types of ratings that are available. And then LEAD and IGBC, they split up. And we continuously have been constantly upgrading the ratings. LEAD, when it started, it was what is called as version 3. Right now, LEAD version 5 is now launched. And IGBC has also constantly been upgrading its rating system. GRIHA has upgraded 3 times already, and it's looking for a 4th upgrade. So a lot of market maturity has now, you can see in the last 5 years, with more projects that are focused on specifics, not just about energy saving, not just about water saving, but they are looking at things like net zero, decarbonization. They are looking at how to improve the health of the people that are occupying these buildings by ratings such as WELL, and even IGBC has some well-being ratings and all that. So the focus has been constantly shifting in the last 25 years, and a lot has happened in the past 25 years. How has this affected our construction industry? If you take a look at that. So where does it stand? Right now, for the most part of it, the green ratings are completely voluntary and they're self-regulated, in the sense that if you don't want to do a green rating system, you need not do a green rating system. But all the people, almost I would say more than 10,000 plus buildings that are now green rated in India right now, have done it because they believe that this is giving them an advantage in terms of cost. They believe it's giving them an advantage in terms of sustainability and an advantage in terms of doing better for the people who are going to occupy that building. Which is why right now all these ratings are completely voluntary and they're also self-regulated. So if you take CII, it's a non-profit. If you take TERI, that's also a non-profit. All of these are self-regulated. They are all trying to do the right thing among themselves. So right now there is no governmental intervention or anything that says this is how the rating should be. There are no fines if you do not comply as on yet. Then the other thing which the green ratings have done, they have been adopted by government and PSUs. In fact, GRIHA rating, like we saw, has been adopted by CPWD and by an extension by a large number of governmental construction PMC agencies. So if you take a lot of governmental projects, like maybe the recently constructed new parliament building, any government project that you take, you would see that they have gone for some kind of a green rating, and it has also further trickled down to a lot of PSUs. So some of our major clients include LIC, State Bank of India, all of these people who are also looking at a green adoption. So it's not just about doing it voluntary. These people are also setting an example. And then it has further influenced the development of certain mandates like the ECBC, which is the Energy Conservation Building Code of India, and then also the Energy and Sustainability Building Code of India, which is going to come out. That is also being influenced. The National Building Code of India, which dictates how the constructions are happening, all that has been influenced by all these green ratings. This has in turn paved the way for certain mandates. Like, for example, in some states now it's mandatory to comply with ECBC basic requirements. You have to be at least ECBC to get your buildings approved. And that has brought in a lot of tax and FSI incentives. In various states, there are various incentives already. You can look it up on various websites and all that, and you can find out. And they have also encompassed various types of building typologies, not just about, say, a building which is like an office building or something like that. You can, from landscape gardens and parks all the way to hospitals, are now certified with the green ratings. So the major impacts on the construction industry has been the integration of design. Like, people have started to think more about how they are doing the design. The construct shift thought process has moved towards more people oriented. You will see that people are giving importance to daylight. People are giving importance to thermal comfort, not just looking at in terms of money or something like that. And also this various documentations and simulations, they also, though they get you the rating, they are also a documentation of the effort that you have put, a record for the future, a legacy for all the things that are coming up. And this has in turn led to push for various innovations. We have seen there is innovations in smart controls. There are a lot now monitoring and metering systems. There's renewable energy integrations and happening, a lot of facade materials that have come up and all that. So these are all various impacts that have happened in the construction industry because of these green ratings having been available in India for the past 25 years. Same way in the building materials industries also, it has had a lot of impact. If I told you that there is something called as a low VOC paint about, say, 10 to 15 years back, you would have just looked at me blankly. Then I would have had to explain that VOC is volatile organic compounds, which is emitted by paints, etc., etc. But now almost everybody who watches some amount of television or has some access to news is aware of what that is. And those products are available in the retail market, not just in the, specific in the construction market and all that. So fly ash based cement, steel, glass, all of these products have undergone a major set of development from the last 20-25 years. And this has been now driving what is called as EPDs, which are environmental product declarations, which look at transparency and all that. And this has led to the emergence of Indian manufacturers aligning with a lot of international standards. You would see products that are compliant with international standards, not just with ISO standards and all that, not just with basic Indian standards. And even the Indian standards themselves have been improving to stay on par with all of these things. So a lot of impact has happened on the building materials industry as well. So if you look into the future, we have a lot of opportunities and challenges ahead. The opportunities, of course, all the green certified projects, definitely I would say they have an opportunity to save their money, to save, do better for the people who live there. They have an opportunity to set an example that will always be there. Like Ashokutta was saying, it's not just we don't have enough people right now. We have to have more and more people coming into this, more and more people aware of this. Definitely, the green materials market will grow. There will be a demand for better materials. There will be a demand for more sustainable materials. There will be more demand for transparency, for reporting, and all that. All of that is definitely coming. So, that is an opportunity for various startups or various materials industries and entrepreneurs to look forward to. And definitely, there will be a policy support from Ministry of Environment, from Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, various state level incentives. All of these are various opportunities that are definitely coming that we are looking at to improve where we stand. So, like we said, now buildings are looking at decarbonization. They're not only just looking at, say, have you saved energy, have you saved water? They want you to quantify it in terms of carbon emissions, and all that. So, a lot of opportunities in those areas are also popping up. There are always challenges that will always remain, but we will overcome and climb that hill as well. So the challenges sometimes lead to higher upfront costs for early adopters of technologies. I remember in one of our early projects where we were trying to do the smart metering system, the cost was quite high. So, but then they adopted it and now they have seen the savings coming up because of it. There'll be gaps in smaller companies and all that, but those have to be bridged. And there'll be a need for stronger supply chains and all that. But those also, the market will slowly, as we bring in the transformation through the green materials, we'll be able to see that as the ratings bring up the transformation, we will see the market transforming on its own.